Oh, well, it's early in the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm, let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to MAGA minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things, front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hum Day News, we keep it real with down home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth, and when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks talking southern things, stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand?
I was slow on the draw this morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Rob, and that's Dave over there. And welcome to Southern Fried Podcast Morning Show. I'm the clickbait. Y'all come on in and click. I'm here wearing my brand new Cornbread Nation t-shirt this morning. Designed just for you by Dave. How's Dave doing this morning?
I'm great. Happy Hump Day.
Yes. It is definitely Hump Day. Oh. All right. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news yesterday. Did you see all that stuff?
Quite a bit. But I was busy working a lot.
Yeah, I was too. Apparently, I was talking to Miss Jennifer yesterday. She said that there was another bad accident on 75 down her way yesterday.
Yeah, there was.
So,
Too many people, too many trucks, too many bad intersections, too much speed. You name it.
Yeah.
Too many people in a hurry. I really believe, and of course there's going to be people arguing about it, and I don't care. I really don't care. I'm past caring about, because you say something about either side, and you got people on both sides that you can't be critical of truck drivers. You can't. I'm not, or anybody. But the federal highway system, there's some upgrades that needs to happen there. It's going to be quite expensive. But I think as much as they can, they're going to have to treat these interstates with a separation of the trucks and the cars. Um, Two dedicated lanes, obviously for the trucks, and then two or three for the. On these 75 is a major interstate that carries a lot of people. There's some across the U.S. like that. 75 goes for a long way. It is too much traffic. They're built up. Hey, people have made Georgia their home. Goods and services travel through the state. Only in major interstates like that, they're going to have to find a way to separate these massive loads, who are live loads. Some of them trying to, they have only so much time to get there. And now I know trucks that are governed down to 55. They can't go above that, but there's some trucks that can, and get these cars that also don't know how to drive, and they cut off trucks. So it's both sides. It's both sides, and do some better signage on the roadways and stuff like that. We talked about forcing things to slow down in certain areas, but yeah, speed absolutely plays a part. Fatigue, which is very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But these are burning infernos that have happened. People being burned alive. And we're just going to have to take a long view of it and start doing some things to separate these as much as possible.
And it's not. I mean, it's not one side or the other. It's both sides.
It's both sides.
But I'm gonna say something. As far as being out there and having just idiots, dude, it's not the trucks usually that I run into or see out there. It's the people driving these cars, especially these younger people that don't have a clue.
Well, I will play both sides of this, and I have absolutely seen truck drivers. I've been ran off the road on purpose by truck drivers. I have been absolutely ran. And I have someone who was with me who will verify what I'm saying. Absolutely was ran off the road. I've absolutely had truck drivers come after me up the highway. Crazy. I know the guy's truck was painted like the Joker. Absolutely. I knew in my gut, this guy's coming after me. I just hoped he wouldn't crash us. And he came over on me and missed my front bumper by an inch, which was his intimidation factor. I just held onto the wheel. I was in a little pickup truck. He had the stacks blowing. He was mad because I got trapped in the right lane. I was trying to get over, and the line backed up off the way station into the interstate, which is another problem. They're not supposed to have that happen. They're supposed to wait until they have enough room. But it commonly happens in Catoosa County. You have 18-wheelers backed up on the highway. Well, I was trapped. I couldn't get over. This guy's right behind me. So finally I got over. I'm telling you, I just knew it. The guy, he just came after me. And thank God nothing bad happened. But I've seen the intimidation factor. And this guy the other day, he never slowed down. That's why they arrested him. He never slowed down. It's the same way with motorcycles. We all know people have been taken out on motorcycles by stupid drivers. I've also seen some stupid motorcycle drivers who cut people off, zip in and out of lanes, drive illegally down the center of it or on the road or the shoulder or whatever because they don't want to wait. It just takes one knucklehead to cause a major accident when you've got people doing 75, 80, 85, 90. And we know how it is in some areas of the state. If you're doing anything less than 85 in any of the lanes, you're being ran over. There are people blowing their horn at you and flashing their lights because everybody wants to go fast.
And it's idiocy. There's no need. I mean, if you have to go that fast, you should have left a little earlier. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not necessarily that they want to go fast because there's a need. They just want to get there quick.
Yeah, and if there's rain, it always gets worse. People take more chances. I don't know why. They really do.
So,
but this is going to continue to happen. The interstates are fully clogged. Certain hours of the day, some of them all hours of the day, or a lot of the hours of the day, but especially that rush hour time, that morning traffic, it's bumper to bumper, and people are getting frustrated, because they want to get to to their job, their load delivered, they're a service person who's trying to get, to a call, or just some knucklehead that thinks, I can drive 100. It's my, I don't care. It's really bad. And it's just going to get worse the more people that you jam up on the interstate.
Yeah, and we're not going to get less up there over the years.
And the clog there feeds the side roads. People start taking a lot more of the interstate should alleviate a lot of that, but because the backups on the interstate, your feeder roads start getting backed up. Even the truck drivers will jump off of the interstate and go through towns, little towns, trying to bypass a backup, which creates problems in of itself sometimes in your cities.
Right. Well, they're dealing with that in Colquitt right now. They're having to redo some of the roads so that the truck drivers can't go through around the square. They will go around the square.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of ways around it, but they would opt to go around the square.
Well, how many times? Several times a year, truck drivers get stuck at the Ringo Railroad trestle.
Yes, I've seen that.
Or the East Ridge Tunnel.
Yeah,
I've seen that. They don't realize till they get up there. They're usually from out of town. They got bad advice or bad GPS, and they're up there trying to. Can you imagine? I've seen that, man. Trying to turn a truck around at the tunnel. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah. But it would take a fortune to fix that.
Sure, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. I mean, you can require the trucks to stay in the right-hand lane only. But then they can't get around the other trucks.
Well, so you're going to have to add lanes. But that's what we're at. It's going to be a federally driven thing. But I think if we'll just take from giving away money to dictators and communists and socialists and people who hate us around the world, we might be able to get some stuff fixed here at home.
Now, wouldn't that be what a novel concept, Dave?
I know.
I mean,
just
that's
spend it here.
Yeah, imagine that. We could fix something here at home.
I mean, 75 needs to be 3 lanes on each side, minimum, all the way through, and in your cities, 4 or 5 lanes. That's minimum. It's going to take some massive amounts of money, but we got to do it. I would say they're probably, and I've talked about it for years, 2 more bypasses. One of them, and I know they ain't going to like it, but there needs to be a bypass around Chattanooga.
Yeah.
There needs to be a secondary bypass around Atlanta, further out, 50 miles out. They talked about it. It's been on the books as an idea for years. 285 is a death trap, man. I refuse to get on unless I just have to. It's overloaded. The roads are breaking down in some cases. My God, that's a horrible stretch. I don't like going on 285.
I don't take care of going on 285 either. But if you're coming down to the south and you're coming into Georgia from up north of the Mason-Dixon line to get to any parts south of Atlanta, if you're from up north, you must get on 285 and drive it until it ends, then hang a right.
Yeah. Pascual Perez. He got stuck on it. Atlanta Braves pitcher. He kept waiting for the end. Sure did.
We're sorry.
The worst accident on 285, I was just a kid that I remember, was an elderly lady who got on 285 going the wrong way by accident. 11 people dead.
Wow.
She flew up the off ramp instead of the on ramp. And before the car, she, including her, she died as well. Can you imagine? It's bad enough. Can you imagine going on 285 facing the traffic coming at you? Can you imagine how bad that was? And this was in the 70s.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine now. That was bad enough then.
Yeah. But add a lane or two on each of our major interstates. These are the ones that need it. There's probably some out west that don't need it.
Some don't need it, but I'm talking about these major interchanges. I mean, it's 75 is one of them. Probably 24 to Nashville. I would say each way.
Yeah.
You really need to add a lane for sure.
Yeah. Well, I-75 is your major north-south corridor going up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
So from Florida all the way to New York City,
Maybe
it needs to be
I-40 at certain places needs to have additional, and then
I-10.
I-10, then out west. What is that? 35, 30, 35 out of Dallas.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
at 65, probably not. I mean, I've driven 65 through Alabama at night. It's like it's really nighttime. You drive up down 75, you got all these little towns, you got lights everywhere, you got every little gas station, mom and pop thing, Waffle houses. You go up down 65 in Alabama, and it's not like that. Although I can see why a lot of drivers, especially truckers, would use it.
They need to build that. It's been on the books, talked about for would alleviate a lot of this in Chattanooga. Is the Memphis to Atlanta interchange.
Yeah.
That's been talked about for 40, 50 years.
Wow.
And with all the buildup in North Alabama, I just think it's time. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of money. It really is. But there's going to have to be something done to start alleviating some of the carnage that's happening.
Yeah. Well, speaking of carnage, what do you think about the Menendez brothers getting re-sentenced?
I'm not really. I don't really have a thought on either way. They've been in jail a long time. It just gives them the opportunity for parole. Doesn't mean they're going to get it. We have in many cases, murderers have an opportunity for that. Doesn't mean they're going to get that. Some are obviously death penalty. Some are. Good morning, Miss Elizabeth. Some are. I mean, my preference is they stay in jail the rest of their life, but it is what it is. They've been in jail a long time. They'll probably be in jail for a lot longer. If they get out and they're very old,
yeah,
I don't think they're I'll say it this way. I don't think they're a threat to society. It was a threat within that family. And what is the justice is going to have to determine what the justice is. It's a horrible story, but.
And how old were they when this happened?
They were pretty young. I can't remember the age. 17? I don't remember. Maybe it was a little older than that. I'm not sure.
They were very young either way. And I'm kind of torn on this. I want to see, part of me would like to see them rot in jail.
Yeah.
Because what they did was horrible. I mean, just blow away both the for the shotgun. I mean, that's horrible. That's not the side of somebody that wants to be a part of civilized or the community and as a whole. But I don't know.
I would much rather see them get out as I would anybody associated with the Charles Manson killings. I'll say that. I don't care. I think most of them are dead now, but I'm still not for any of them that went into homes and did the carnage they did. I don't care what they were on. I think they should stay in jail because they went out and did murders in the community. They terrorized a nation, really, especially a state. And the level of carnage that they did, cutting babies out. I mean, at that scene, that was a horrible. Much rather see that.
And I'm gonna throw this out. I think I would rather see them get out than any of these trendy Aragua nut jobs that are coming in terrorizing the country that they've thrown in jail. I would rather see them get out than those guys, because those guys are here with a specific purpose in mind.
Sure,
they're going to terrorize this nation and do what they want to do.
Well, I think some of them need to be given the death penalty. my opinion.
Yeah. Mm.
Let's start setting the message for the rest, anybody else. That goes along with sealing the border up. But if you're in here and we ain't found you yet and you commit crime like that, we're just going to go ahead and I would try them. It probably would be a stretch. But hey, you could probably try them under some different rules because they fall under different things than a citizen, and it should. You could almost try them under military tribunal. I think there's probably a path for that. A little bit of tweaking to existing law, and do it because to me it's a war.
Yeah.
It's a war on our citizens, and that path to death penalty is a lot easier under the military tribunal than it is civilian. I have no problem with that. No problem.
You
Come
know,
in and murder our sons and daughters, rape, pillage, burn, all that. I got no problem with death penalty on that at all.
wow. I don't either. And I've been thinking about, they said talk about this overcrowding in jail, in these prisons and stuff. I had a friend of mine years ago, and he brought this up. He says, "I know how to fix the overcrowding. You only make so many jails, so many cells, and when they're full, the ones that've been there the longest, they're the ones that get shot, and you make room for the next batch. Well, what if they're in there for speeding? Well, they should have been speeding." That's what you think that'd be a bit excessive? Well, you're out of cells.
Well, we've done it. We've done it to dogs and cats forever. First in.
Exactly. And that's we consider that to be humane.
I do think, and I know there's been some mistakes made, but if all things be, there's no question, it's not. I mean, it's obvious they're the murderers. They are, but the death penalty should not take 30 years.
No.
I'll say
I understand you want to get it right. You want to get it right, and I understand that. But you're talking about people that admit to stuff, and they still take 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, except for Texas. Texas has that speedy thing, where if you've done admitted to a heinous crime that was witnessed by so many people, you get front head of the line privileges. But even then, it takes a long time. So,
but I mean, people get mad, but I have no problem with bringing back the chain gangs or any of that. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
No.
Let's get some work out of them. If they want to work, let's work them.
Yeah. Well, what are they doing? They're sitting there in jail. I mean, yeah, there's workshops that they can do there, like retraining programs and stuff like that. That's fine. Put them to work, and they get some money out of it. Not much, but some. Put them to work.
Well, and
why not?
And some of that money could be paid to victims.
Yeah.
Because there's usually a financial aspect to the crime. And if nothing else, they've suffered loss. It can never replace, but the victims deserve that. I mean, what if the husband was killed? He was the breadwinner. I mean, they should be helping to replace that source of income.
Yeah. That's the way it should be. I mean, let's face it. But yeah, with chain gangs, hell, we ought to have the cleanest roads in the country.
Yeah. Well, we got enough potholes that need to be filled in to keep them busy for a long time.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it would take, okay, so you put 3 armed officers out there, and the guys are chained together. They're working. They're filling potholes, or they're working on the sides of the road, picking up trash, or running a sling. Remember old sling blades?
Yeah.
clearing off the sides of the road. And if one gets mad at the other and whacks him in the back of the head with one of them things, well, you put a different one out there tomorrow. I'm sorry, that's not very nice, but I'm just,
Well, they got away from even those that are doing community service picking up trash. And I can tell you, in Chattanooga, it started looking bad. Well, they started putting that back in place, and it looks a lot better because they didn't have anybody go out and clean up that crap. And unfortunately, a lot of people are just trashy people. They don't care. They toss it out the window. It started looking rough.
Yeah.
So they started putting those folks back out there doing the community service, and they cleaned up a lot of stuff. It serves a purpose.
Yeah.
We saw some just the other day.
Why just let them sit in prison? Let them contribute something somewhere. I like the work farms that they had. I didn't mind that. I mean, use it to support them. Let them grow their own food.
Brusky Bear, I don't really have a problem with it for these really bad offenders. Maybe I wouldn't put kids there, but as far as the citizenry being allowed to show up, our history is filled with it. We've just gotten to a point in this time frame where people don't have the stomach for what we did. Those were public events. I think the last one, in fact, one of the last public executions in Georgia was actually in Walker County, which is the county I work in. And I think that was in the 30s. Now, I could be wrong on that. Somebody fact checks me. That's fine. But I think that was in the 30s. And if I remember right, the guy may have killed an officer. I remember this history, and I can't quite remember it, but I'm pretty sure that was one of the last ones, if not the last public one in the state of Georgia, was in Walker County. That's some local history. And then they stopped it. I don't know. For some reason, 36 stands out in my head, but hey, that's a scary place. My brain, especially early in the morning. I left my coffee back on the coffee maker. I got to get back here and get it. So, and I got allergies, so everything could be going spastic this morning in my head. But I got no problem with it.
No, I need coffee too. I'm trying to pull that up. It was in Augusta, but I want to look up the last public execution in Walker County.
Yeah, I don't think it was one of the last ones.
Let's see.
They talk about it right here. There's been documentaries about it and stuff and stories.
The last public hanging was in Augusta. I don't know when the last public execution. The last public hanging was on June 12th, 1931.
31.
Yeah, and see, that right there, that kid right there needs to be in jail. Because he was drunk and high, and you're going 120 miles an hour in a residential area. And see, this was, okay. I'm not a big thing for making excuses for people. But I'm going to say this. Games like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, it leads to into stuff like this, I believe. Because they see it, they have it in the video game, and they think they can do this in real life. Yeah.
That's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah. And he's being in jail. He can't separate fiction from reality. And the reality is, if you're driving that fast in a residential area, you're going to kill somebody.
Well, we've came a long way, baby, because I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm going to tell you, in the past in America, if somebody did that, it might be immediate. That might be immediate justice. They might not make it to the police department. I'm just saying.
That's happened.
The public is angry.
Mm-hmm.
They just pull it
And we're
out.
tired of it. We're tired of it.
At some
You
point,
know,
you just if you don't handle things like this and the public perceives there's no justice, there will be a segment of society that will say, okay, that's it.
mm-hmm.
It's like the old in Roadhouse. What happened? I don't know. Fell down or whatever. And the old
A
fat boy,
bear fell on
yeah, bear fell on me.
me.
It's that type of mentality. This guy was a nuisance. Nobody could do anything with him. He killed people. And they absolutely tied into that for their movie idea. That this guy
Yep.
was off the chain. Nobody could stop him. That the community had had enough. They all come in. They all put a slug in him. And then when the police show up, it's like, I don't know, fell down.
Mm.
They got nowhere to go. They got no proof. They got nothing. And the only one that could say it, he had a bear fall on him.
He had a bear fall on him.
What was
I
that?
think that might be my new battle cry.
I can't remember his.
Anytime I get pulled over, a police asks me, where you going? I don't know. A bear fell on me.
That was a polar bear, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's horrible, Brosky Bear. Horrible.
They shouldn't show stuff like that. Not that graphic. I don't agree with that, but you know, it's freedom of speech, but I don't have to watch it. So,
Although I could think if there was a couple of people that happened to, you might watch it, Rob.
yeah.
We won't say a name, but there might be a couple of people out there.
Oh, there's probably several that I would watch.
Some dictators around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Well, they drug Gaddafi through the streets.
yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't need to be doing that when that's going on. Just keep quiet.
No.
I know that's your kid. Obviously, you're going to be tore up, but to have no concern and all that. Nobody's saying you can't be there for your kid, but at the same time, you gotta have some empathy and sympathy for what your kid has done. And I don't blame parents as long kids even 17. But what I'm saying is, if they didn't ever, if they allowed the kid to do whatever he wanted to, yeah, I do. But sometimes kids do stupid stuff, and parents are they're tore apart, and they don't know how to approach people. They're just devastated by the whole thing. I feel for those parents that enable it or a part of it. Then heck with them.
Yeah.
It's like the ones who knew that. I'm sorry. Those people that their kids committed school shootings, and their bedroom was filled with bazookas and all kind of weaponry and stuff, and mom and dad don't know. Come on, you're not being a proper mom and dad.
Mm-mm.
My dad was always investigating what's going on in my room. He says, "It's in my home, boy. I'll be coming in from time to time, checking things out." Moms know how to go in and just make sure everything's right while you're at school.
Mm-hmm.
The killers at Columbine, they were walking past their parents with guns and baseball bags and stuff. They had bomb making material and all that stuff in their bedroom, and mom doesn't know. Come on.
Yeah.
You failed.
Yes. Yes.
But there's people like that. It's like the case in South Carolina. The guy who killed his wife and kid. They were always covering, and they always figured through their power they'd get away with stuff. And the night that kid killed that girl because he was drunk driving the boat, he had no concern about that girl.
No.
Dad shows up flashing some sort of tiki badge he's got. They're trying to pay people off and strong arm people into, downplaying what his kid has done. The kid was a punk. I'm not saying he deserved what he got from his dad eventually, because dad he didn't want to be taken down by his wife and kid. So he killed him. But they had already ruined that kid. That kid was entitled. He flaunted his money, their family money, position in the community, threatened people. And that night, and there were other kids that was on that boat that were trying to get him to stop. And even after, she comes up missing because he hits the pylon, they were trying to get, he's in there complaining about, he's complaining about stuff, entitled right from the beginning. Amen, Brother Jerry.
Jerry.
There's a lot to be said for that. I'm so glad to hear it.
I'll tell you what, let's take a few minutes. Let's fill up our coffee cups. Mine empty, dude. We gotta have some coffee this morning.
I've not even had any. Mine's sitting over on the coffee maker. I just forgot to bring it over here. I was kind of rushing around.
Well, we got, dude. Let's take us a quick commercial. We'll come right back at it.
Yeah, go fill your coffee cup up.
All right, I'll be right back.
We hope everybody has their morning coffee. If Rob can make it to the coffee maker, he's having a rough morning, y'all. Y'all pray for him. We'll be right back. Hey, Southern Fried Podcast fans. This is Dave the AM for the Southern Fried Podcast. We want to advertise for W, who's got some special things going on. So are you tired of those energy drinks that you drink and they give you the jitters and the crashes that come from the typical drink? Look no further than W Energy Drink. It's a revolutionary new beverage that will keep you energized without any of those downsides. For a limited time, folks, W is offering an incredible 30% off on everything they sell. That's right. You can stock up on your favorite flavors and save big while enjoying the smooth, sustained energy that only W can provide. I'm a customer member, and I can testify to this. I love this drink. No shakes, no crashes. And if it can help my mental acuity, I'm happy too. Awesome. They have a unique formula that provides you a perfect balance of focus and vitality without any of those unpleasant side effects that we don't want. No more of those shaking hands, crashing you in the middle of the day. Just pure clean energy to help you tackle any challenge that comes your way. But don't wait too long. This 30% offer won't last forever. Go on over to W's website now and start shopping. Remember to smash that promo code Southern Fried into the area where they ask you to put that in there, and it'll help us as well. You're still going to get the 30%, but it'll let them know that you are supporting us, and so we appreciate it today. So try W Energy Drink and experience the difference for yourself. Your body and mind will thank you for making the switch to the energy drink that truly delivers on its promises. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save big and upgrade your energy game with W. Don't forget, use that promo code Southern Fried. Don't forget, Patriot Mobile. What a great company. Was talking with them yesterday. I've got one more thing to set up with them. We'll take care of that today. Using that promo code Cornbread. Love those folks. Mammoth Nation. We have all kinds of QR codes listed. Go through there, become a monthly subscriber. Through that, you'll help the Southern Fried as well. Podbean is an online audio site. You can become a podcaster. We also have a QR code for that will help us. And our store, don't forget about our store. Very soon, coffee. We'll be having much more about that the rest of this week as we talk about that. It is the middle of the month. Today, May 14th, is the date of the reestablishment, I got congestion, of the nation of Israel. May 14th, 1948. There's people in the world that hate that. The British mandate, they decided to split down the middle, make 2 states, 2 nations. Arabs refused to vote, and Israel was established once again as a nation. An important date, May 14th, 1948. And immediately war came to their whatever was made of their borders, and they survived it and have continued to survive many wars. And now they're in a current war with Hamas and others. Now, what's going to happen in the region is with Iran and the bomb, and can the president negotiate some peace? What's going to happen with Gaza? These are difficult issues, for sure, but they could solve a lot of it if they would just the terrorism. I mean, if they would just stop that, teaching it in schools. The camps need to go away. These, 50 plus years, 60 years of camps they keep these people in. They really need to be absorbed into the other nations. There's been talk of them having a Palestine that's officially recognized. I don't think they'll ever vote for it. They don't want that because they want the whole land. They'll never agree to that. They being the so-called Palestinians, they will never agree to that. They'll always find a way to reject that. That's not going to happen. My opinion. I don't think it'll ever happen because the struggle would start to close down. They would have to recognize Israel. They're not going to do that. So people think, oh, it's easy. We'll fix this. That's why the president has to be very careful with those kinds of things. Of course, Ukraine, Russia, Zelensky, and Putin are supposed to have a face-to-face. They're still picking at him about the president about the airplane. By the way, they're on the president. Said he fell asleep. They had video. They're trying to, leftists are trying to say, you talked about Joe, but the president was tired. He can't go 4 years. Come on. We've all nodded off for a brief second.
Yes.
There's the schedule it keeps is pretty rough.
There. I'll find which hat I'm wearing this morning. I'm going to wear this one. Y'all talk about him all you want to, but he's trying to keep us great. And I believe that. And trying to reduce our drug prices, trying to get our fuel,
And to the guy that jumped all over our post on one of the socials, I made mention of that. It was a MAGA minute. I get it. We don't like a lot of the drugs that have been produced. But there are some maintenance medications that a lot of people take, I'm included. And sort of jumped on me about that. It's okay. I get it. If you don't want to take Big Pharma's nothing, you're not taking anything, that's your freedom. But there are medications that most of us have that we do take. And if we can get that cheaper, then to God be the glory. So I get it. I don't think it was a personal attack. I just, people get really fired up about stuff.
Yeah. And the long and the short of it is, he's done enough stuff to cut prices. And now that the tariffs are that stuff's beginning to fall into line, they talk about, well, jack prices up. Y'all weren't complaining and griping like that when Biden was running inflation through the roof. And now we're trying to get that under control, and that we freed up our energy resources. So our gas prices are coming down. It's cheaper to transport stuff. Our costs are coming down. So with all that coming down, it's really not costing you anything. It was a wait and see on the tariffs. And guess what? They're starting to fall in line.
I did see this, Brusky Bear. If people haven't seen that video, I talked about it, but I haven't showed it yet. It's all there. Little spoon, little bag. Oh, yeah. They weren't expecting the press to walk in. Video's going. One hid the spoon, one hid the bag. funny looks on their faces, like, yes. You know what? That's probably the tamest. There's no telling what things are going on that we could have seen if they'd have walked in there at a different time. That guy better watch out, though, who filmed that. He might become a number.
No doubt. Because they ain't going to put up with that.
Get thrown off the train. It won't be Mama got thrown off the train. It'll be journalist.
Throw the journalist from the train.
He caught him red-handed, man. I mean, that guy is just laying there, man. The little bump spoon and little bag of Coke.
Wow.
Just laid out there like your coffee, your donuts, mints, Coke.
Well, now you know why they make such stupid deals sometimes. But that's what these people elected. They elected them. And there again, there should be drug tests for I think for everybody in government in the United States. There should be drug tests on them.
Yeah, some are, but some aren't.
Yeah. But your politicians that make the laws, they sure enough ought to be living by them. Laws for thee, not for me. That's bullcrap. That is bullcrap. They need to have to live by the same laws that they're passing for everybody else. If some people in federal government have to be drug tested, then so do they. Somebody passed that rule. Somebody made that rule. Somebody needs to live by it. So, these Trinidad, they're talking about them. They're hiring IT techs now. They've made their own computer language and everything else. And posting out and getting messages out to people through the internet. And, I'll be glad when they get that. This whole thing right here, and they are a terrorist group. They are, and I'm glad they're designated as such. I mean, they want to go out and control everybody through fear and force, and they need to be taken out of this country or locked up. But most of them are here illegally, and they're proud of that fact.
Yeah.
And they're right here in Georgia, dude. Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Louisiana, Texas. They're right here. They are here. And we're not talking about, they're talking about them getting out in the rural areas and starting to affect out there. Hey, we don't need that mess here.
It's already happened.
Yeah.
There's already cases of human trafficking occurring in the Blue Ridge area. There's cases where people have been picked up. They've stolen organs from people and left them just gaping holes in their gut where they went in and just took a kidney to sell it.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. And we're allowing that to go on in this country? I don't think so. We need to, oh no. That needs to go big time.
I don't think me and you's got to worry too much about it, Rob. We've kind of used our parts up a little bit, but it doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, well, we're old and well, you're old. I'm a little bit I'm upper middle aged. You're old and It just, yeah, our parts we got a little bit of wear and tear on them. But, these young kids still have their whole lives ahead of them. You go and do something like that. If they live through it, you've ruined them. And they don't even care. They don't even care. There's no empathy. There's no compassion. There's no nothing. And that's not what we need. No, sir. No, sir. Mm. And we got this Milwaukee County judge, this is off Fox, Hannah Dugan. She's indicted. She has been indicted after allegedly helping an illegal alien invade ICE. And hey, good. Just because you're a judge doesn't mean that, you can get away with breaking the law. Yes.
Yeah, those were good-looking families. Look like, kind of people could bring something to the table, skills.
Mm.
Well, they're under full-fledged attack there.
Yeah.
And the world doesn't care, sadly.
They don't, and that's horrible. That whole situation is horrible.
Land being stolen, attacks. It's pretty rough.
But let's take this Judge Dugan that was arrested for allegedly hiding a previously deported illegal immigrant in her jury room to stop her from being arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents.
Yeah.
The law doesn't apply to her. She's supposed to be adjudicating the law, but how could she do that if it doesn't even apply to her? But she could apply it to someone else? I don't think so.
You get some things straightened out for sure.
That's a lot of this whole entitlement mentality that's running rampant through this country. I mean, come on. You really think that laws and rules of this country don't apply to you, but you're supposed to be adjudicating them? I don't think so. They should especially apply to you. Crazy.
Well, some of these people think that they're in a judge seat, that they're above the law. They can just do what they want, but there's judicial, rules.
Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Jen.
Good morning.
The podcast went over 49,000 followers early this morning. We are well on our way to being at 50,000 before our 1 year anniversary. Thank you so much to all the followers, all supporters of SFP. SFP.
We appreciate it.
CN.
Yes.
We are the Southern Fried Cornbread Nation.
Yes. And we're glad for every one of y'all out there. Y'all make it worthwhile for us. I mean, we couldn't do it without you. And, man, y'all are great. We've got some interesting interviews coming up. And one of them's going to be this Friday. We're going to have Dylan Shepard on. If you have Facebook, check him out. From the Woods is the name of his Facebook page. This guy makes some of the neatest stuff you have ever seen, as far as bowls, cutting boards, cheese boards, stuff like that. I mean, just some beautiful, beautiful work. We're going to have him on Friday night. And the next Friday, we're going to try to have Rowdy Roasters on here. these guys go to festivals and stuff. They've got this huge roaster and they roast whole ears of corn. And I've actually gotten to experience this delicacy that they produce. And man, let me tell you, that is some good stuff right there. So, something a little different that you can pick up at a festival or something, whole roasted ears of corn. Dude, Dave, it's good. Yeah. And I think that's one even you can get behind. And also, just to throw it out there, our next appearance at the festival is going to be in Camilla on the 19th of July at the Sowego Ag Fest. So I got some more information coming in today or tomorrow on that. So that's going to be a fun one. Yes, it is going to be on the 19th of July in South Georgia. However, we're going to be doing it in the air conditioning. So we're not getting outside. Could you imagine being outside all day long, Dave, on the 19th of July in South Georgia? No, me neither.
No.
Ooh. Can't imagine being out there 10 minutes. Ugh. We'd melt. Quite literally. We'd shed pounds like Robert Diamond's doing. Old dog tag. And he's dropped 50 pounds since he started his trek up the Appalachian Trail there. We'd probably lose 50 pounds in 10 minutes out there in the South Georgia heat on July.
I could handle it. I wouldn't want to, but it's the gnats. I wouldn't want to have to battle the heat and the gnats. That would be bad.
Oh, and they're bad this year. I've always heard, if we got to get some cool weather to knock them gnats down or they're going to be worse. We got 8.5 inches of snow this year down here. And they're worse than ever. I think they lived off of it. I think they're like, oh, this is just nice, cool stuff here. Let's just, come on, summer.
You've probably been invaded by some illegal gnats. They're probably more hardy.
Well, we need to send those north of the gnat line. We need to send them up there to y'all. We don't need no more down here. We got plenty. Y'all need them hardy gnats up there so they can survive the wintertime. Wouldn't y'all take a few gnats up there just so we wouldn't have to deal with them down here?
No, I think we're good.
What? Well, that just don't seem
I don't want any gnats.
Yeah, you and we get some up there to, Lakeview area. We get some up to Rome, Georgia.
Listen, you made a decision to live there, not us. Don't blame us for your gnat problem.
I'm not blaming for you. I'm just asking to help get some relief down here,
No.
It's like on the interstates, we need some relief on those interstates, build some truck lanes and stuff like that. Well, we need some gnat lanes to get some gnats out from South Georgia up to North Georgia. Take some of the pressure off of us down here. Say no to snow unless you're Macron, Starmer, and Mercer. I can go along with that there, Broski.
I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
Is that the train?
Yeah.
Oh, the whiteout.
Yeah. It's a real blizzard on the train. Yeah. Do you want to build a snowman?
They were working on
I really want to build a snowman. Hard. Rolling downhill like a snowball riding a train. You thought I was going to say something else, but I didn't. Trump said something I've been saying about this plane. They're still riding this case on the plane. It's funny. What was it he said? Now, Some people say, oh, you shouldn't accept gifts for the country. My attitude is, why wouldn't I accept the gift? We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept the gift? Well, that kind of recoups some stuff, doesn't it? It's not quid pro quo or nothing like that. They offered, he accepted. Hey, we got an Air Force One that's not 40 years old, that they've had another one on order to build for how long now?
Yeah.
My goodness.
You never know.
Oh, Broski, I'm quite sure they're going over that thing with a fine tooth comb. Look, Miss Elizabeth, I'm trying to share the wealth. I don't want to keep all these glorious gnats down here just for me. Just think of the amount of protein that could be added to your diet just by shipping some up there, let them fly down your throat. Yeah, because they'll do it. They don't mind. If you got your mouth open, they'll go right on in there.
7 days, Miss
nice
Elizabeth.
Little crunch, not
7
much.
days.
Oh no. Her favorite flatulence victim is not going to be there, I don't think.
I'm just talking about how many days are left. 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever had gnats up there? You might have been through some down here, but you've never had to deal with them on a daily basis. The gnats that y'all take up there may reform themselves and
5 days.
More extra gnats. 5 days. Don't you try to take 2 extra days onto her. Well, Dave, it's 7 o'clock. Do you know where your grandchildren is?
Fixing to run to school.
Is it time to? I don't know where they're at right this second, but here in a minute, they're going to be on their way to school. I'm sure they're excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you folks get out there, get through this hump day. Get through this hump day and have a good day. And when we come back tonight, you'll be over halfway through your work week. And we're going to have some hump day views tonight and just have a great show. Y'all get out there and have a great day. We appreciate everybody out there for supporting us. And, hey, follow, and subscribe if you would. We're really, really, really knocking on the door for that 50,000 birthday, and which will be on Memorial Day. And we are all excited. So, and we think about how far we've come from those first couple of videos that we put up to where we're at now, and the growth, the different things that we've got going. It has been absolutely an amazing trip, and we couldn't have done it without you, and we appreciate it. So, guys, thank y'all so much. Y'all follow, subscribe, and we will see y'all tonight. And for Hump Day Views, Dave, you got anything before we get a rocking here?
Have a great day.
Oh, we forgot something. And get you some Patriot Mobile and use that promo code Cornbread. Get you a free month on us. Yes, our thanks to you. So, thank you guys, and we will see y'all tonight for Hump Day Views. Have a great day. Salute.
Yes, Robert and Dave, y'all. Southern Fried, talking wide, live shows, we keep it tight. SFP, bring the heat every day and every night. We talk Southern things, boots and ranks, front porch. porch rocking while the rooster sang. From the morning prayer to the evening chat. If you ain't tuned in, where you at? We keep it real, we keep it right. Southern folks talking